wash hands and then to your carpet spot. All right, I would love it if all of my friends turn their bodies towards me, just like Lysandra and Wyatt and Emerson. And eyes up here. All right, the purpose for today we are learning a new skill called making connections. So good readers understand that informational texts provide us with, they tell us some details, they tell us facts, real things, because they're real stories. And we need to make connections with our story because that helps us understand better. All right, friends, I have a question. Yesterday, we took a look at this. Remember, we talked about questions that we might have about the story. So yesterday, we asked questions like, when do you go to work? When did they work? Or we asked questions about, why did that lady have to wear a suit? Or who is in the picture? Or how does she get to work? Or how does the guy get to work? We asked what, so maybe what does the guy do for work? The guy with the sturdy jeans from Australia, do you remember him? Yeah. Or where do they live? We asked that. And remember, we talked about the map in our story helping us know where that the people live. So these are our questions, and we need to remember that good readers ask questions to understand a story. So when we're reading a story, it's helpful if we ask questions. Today we are going to learn about making connections. So that's kind of tricky. Making connections, there's 3 ways to make a connection. And I just have this little poster right here. The first one is called text to self. So that means you're reading a book and you can think, this reminds me of a time when, so maybe in our story, you've seen somebody wearing a business suit or wearing jeans. Remember we talked about that one day where we had Giovanni come up here and he showed us his jeans. Giovanni, would you like to come up again? Awesome. Look at, we can connect him to the story because he's wearing jeans like the guy who was wearing the sturdy jeans for work. And sometimes you all wear jeans. Very good. The next one is text to text. So this says, this reminds me of another book. Remember we talked about ranchers yesterday? And Mauricio, what was that book that we talked about that we also had read about ranchers in? What was that book? I love, remember it has some Spanish in it?
Oh yeah. Saturdays and Domingos.
Saturdays and Domingos, yes. So we read our book and we connected it to another book. That's called text to text. Another connection is text to world. That reminds me, that's where you say, this reminds me of something that I've heard about before in the world. So that's something else. So those are our 3 types of connections. Today we're going to try and make connections while we read our story. All right. I'm going to open one more.
From China.
All right, friends, let's make sure that you're using your listening ears. Listening ears, Cooper. 3, 2, 1, eyes up here. The title or this heading right here is called Traditional Clothes. What is this thing called up here?
Traditional clothes.
Good. It says traditional clothes, and it is a what? Olivia, what is it?
Heading.
A heading. And what does the heading do, Cooper? It tells us what this section is going to be about. Very good. What is this called, Addison? A map. And friends, what is this called, Brandon? What's this called? It helps us to tell where on the map we are looking. It's called a label. A label. Very good.
India.
All right, let's use your listening ears and we're going to try and make connections today. Traditional clothes. Brides and grooms on their wedding day. So look at friends, this is a photograph or a picture of this groom and bride, and they're wearing traditional clothes. That means that they don't wear this clothes every day, but they used to sometimes wear it, and it looks kind of fancy, doesn't it? It looks kind of fancy.
I like the dress.
Just like on the wedding. So they're getting married.
Me too. I like the dress.
Okay, friends, give me 5. Uh-oh, I saw Brayden and Willa. Yep. All right, we're going to turn the page.
Indian.
All right. American Indians wear bright colors to dance at powwows. Look at this shows that this comes from North America. This map tells us this comes from North America. And you know what? I remember that we said that in North America, that's where we live. So I'm connecting that to myself. I remember that we live in North America. So this says United States of America. Is that where we live?
Yes.
Yes. Raymond, do you have a question?
North America is almost connected to space. So.
You're right, it is almost connected right here. Right there, it's connected. All right, so look at, friends, this is a photograph of an American Indian. And she has a beautiful dress on. For a powwow.
It's a girl. Yeah. Skirt.
All right, and friends, this is kind of a silly one. Scottish men wear kilts in parades and at ceremonies. Friends, can you say the word kilt? Kilt. A kilt is kind of like a skirt, but for guys, they wear a kilt. They wear a kilt. Oh. Friends, I remember that sometimes Mrs. Hale wears skirts, so that I'm connecting to this story because sometimes I wear skirts, and in this photograph, they're wearing a skirt. Yes,
Is anyone wearing a skirt right now?
and the last page, friends. What is this thing called up at the top?
Our clothes.
It says your clothes. What's it called though? It's heading. Very good. Listening ears, please, friends. Clothes are different around the world. What did you wear today? Take a look. What did you wear today? Just take a look. You wore some clothes today. Raise your hand if you're wearing jeans. Raise your hand if you're wearing jeans today. Very good. Raise your hand. I see in this picture that she's wearing a jacket. Raise your hand if you're wearing a jacket today.
I'm wearing a jacket.
Mauricio, I see that you have a jacket.
I have a jacket. I have a jacket. Am I not wearing?
Very good. Raise your hand. Level 0. Raise your hand if you're wearing tennis shoes like this girl is wearing.
I think everyone. I am. No.
Awesome. All right. 3, 2, 1. Level 0. I'm going to walk over to sit by Addison and Colin, and I want you to remain at a level 0. Stay at a level 0. I'm going to take our globes so we can add our new pictures. All right, we're going to add our pictures that we learned about today to our globe. So the first one that we learned about today was this picture, the picture of the bride and the groom. And raise your hand, do you remember where did we say that they were from? It's kind of tricky. They're from a place called India. India. Can you say India? India. And India is in Asia. India is in Asia. So I will show you on our globe. Our globe, India, is this pink one. So I will walk around, sitting on your crisscross applesauce, on your pockets.
I love India.
This one is India.
No, you don't. China.
This one is India.
China.
Here.
Let's do China. No, I'd like to go to China.
Three, two, one, level 0. Level 0, please. So look at, we are going to put them on India to remind us this bride and groom wear traditional clothes in India. The next one that we looked at was a Native American, and he's from the United States. And look at this. You can see that he has a headdress. It's called a headdress on his head. So I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this on the United States, right next to our, what was this called again? Parka. Very good. So this is an American Indian, and this is what they wear at powwows. So we're going to put that in the United States, by where we live. All right, the next one is from, he's wearing, what is this? What is it called that he's wearing? Kilt. Very good. Friends, everybody say kilt. Kilt. It's like a skirt. Very good. And that's from Scotland. And Scotland is all the way over here in Europe. Scotland is in Europe. So I'm going to put Scotland right here. This is Europe.
It's purple?
No, it is. Scotland's over here in Europe. Right there.
Show everybody.
I will show you in a little bit.
Same place.
In a little bit. And then the last one that we talked about was us. This is our clothes, what we wear. Jeans. Sometimes we wear tennis shoes. The arm just got cut off. That's okay though. So where do we put this one? Where do we put this one? Very good.
It could be somewhere.
In the United States of America. So friends, I see 3 kinds of clothing in the United States. 3 kinds. I see our clothes, I see a parka, and I see the American Indians wearing bright colors for powwows. All right, friends, during story time today, at the beginning of story time, we will write in our passports. So I need you to be thinking about what you're going to draw for your passports. But right now, it is time to go to the So I need to switch them out.